Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Voxel Voicecast. It is May 17th, 2018, and we're here live to talk about E3. We're going to talk about Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to get into that a little bit. And first, to kick it off, let's do the introductions. I've got Derek here with me.
How's it going?
Lee.
Hi, guys.
And special guest, Mike from the platform. You may know him from the
Hello,
group. You may know him from the group and the podcast that he runs. Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the platform's all about and talk a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Michael. I go by Big Mike on PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo Switch. It's me and a couple of my friends, Danny, Neely, Eugene, Preston, and Cool Cat Terry and I run a show on Friday at 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific called the Platform Podcast. And we talk about, the gaming news and everything that's gone within the week of gaming.
Cool. Yeah, I been wanting to have you on since you had me on, and I appreciate that. Now, hopefully, we can return the favor here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. And so, how's everyone doing? Any business you want to take care of before we jump right into it? Here, it's a little wet down there, Derek.
Yeah, just trying to survive that rain here in Florida, and it's unfortunately never ending.
Yeah. Is that normal, or is it like for this time of year?
It's kind of starting a little bit early, but we'll probably be wrapping around into hurricanes again.
So. Oh, that's right. You're going to be dealing with hurricanes coming up.
Yeah. It's one of those weird time of years, and everything's kind of still kind of been cool too. So
cool, like temperature.
Yeah, temperature-wise, it hasn't really started to pick up the heat yet or stay consistent. Like, we'll have a couple days, it'll be like 90, and then we're back down to like 73. Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of what our situation is right now, too. Up in New England, it just kind of doesn't know where to stay. It'll go up to, 80s and 90s humid, and then it'll drop down to like 60s and 70s, and which is nice, but those humid days really don't do it for me too much. All right, let's get right into it, I guess. E3. Initially, we were planning this, and it was gonna be, just us talking about, what we were looking to do, what we were looking forward to, what the press conferences would bring, any big announcements and stuff like that. And then Walmart decided to kind of fuck that all up and give us a preview of everything that we're probably going to be seeing at E3. So Walmart Canada accidentally or something, who knows what the hell goes on with these kinds of leaks and stuff like that, posted just tons of box art and, well, not real box art, but pre-order listings for all of these games that hadn't been announced yet. And up on the screen, you can see the list of all the games that they leaked, and you probably are like, oh, it's kind of hard to see on your screen and everything like that, and that's actually because there's just so many of them. Mm-hmm. There were a few, like, some of them not that big of a deal, like the Division 2. You probably figured the Division 2 was going to be coming soon, but there were a few that stood out, like Rage 2.
Oh yes.
Who was expecting a sequel to Rage anytime, never mind now, like why now? And since then, to add kind of some credence to all of these leaks, Bethesda has obviously come out and said, yes, Rage 2 is coming. They have trailers, they have release window anyway. So yeah, that kind of puts in question like how many of these games are actually going to be announced at E3. Is just are they all going to be there, or is it more going to be like this is just like moving forward for the year? These are eventually going to be announced. Who knows? But it does kind of give us some idea of what we can expect to see at E3 in at least the coming months, in terms of game announcements and stuff like that. So, what are we out of this list? What are we most interested in? We'll start with that first. We'll start with what they leaked. Is there anything on here that any of you were like hoping was going to be announced? Anything where you're looking forward to now that it's kind of been leaked?
I was excited for Borderlands 3, and then I found out that Pitchford shot that down, basically. And it's like it's nowhere near being announced. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I guess Borderlands 3 was probably pretty high on my list too. And yeah, he was he was a little cagey in his way. He didn't actually come out and specifically say it wasn't. He was just doing his internet. Him and the internet don't exactly get along very well. So whenever
there might be a reason for that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. Oh, we just lost. Nope, coming back. Oh, we just lost Derek there for a second. And he's back.
There we go.
There he is. What's your
That sucks. It hasn't happened in a while.
finger hit the button?
No, it just straight up crashed. Blue screen with some random ass error.
Wow, you're back that quick?
Yeah, it's got, like I said, it's a really great computer. It just Windows 10 hates life.
Yeah, both of my Windows 10 computers get way too many blue screens, way more than I've ever had with the Windows before, and I don't know what the deal is.
Windows 7 at all. It's just you need DirectX 12 and Windows 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I think the idea of a new Splinter Cell is pretty cool.
Cool.
See what they do. You know, the stealth genres kind of move forward quite a bit. And, you know, not so much, but I think a new Splinter Cell could be pretty cool. I think it's time for it, especially if they go with like a, you know, Metal Gear Solid 5 formula for it, open world kind of deal. I don't know how much a linear game would work like the old Splinter Cells were. Although I didn't play the last two. Were they open or were they linear or like mission based? Anybody play? What was the last one? Blacklist?
No, it was the Conviction on Xbox.
Conviction. Okay.
That was very linear.
Okay.
A little bit like Absolution, Hitman Absolution. With kind of you can
all right.
choose to be aggressive or stand back.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll go the Hitman route, like not huge open world, but like real intricate sandboxes that kind of give you a lot of freedom. I wonder.
Yeah.
I think it
takes you across to Just Cause, doesn't it? Because the Just Cause is on the list. See if they learn from the mistakes of last time.
Yeah, Just Cause. Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little too soon for Just Cause 4 for me. I mean, Just Cause 3 was only a few years ago, wasn't it? A couple of years.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy Just Cause 3 personally.
I wasn't a big fan of Just Cause, anyways.
Yeah, that second one was really good and kind of did some cool stuff, but.
I mean, I know some people like it because it's a sandbox game, and you can just blow stuff up.
Yeah.
And the best part.
Yeah.
To me, it was kind of like a comparison to Crackdown. I mean, I wasn't big on Crackdown. Everybody wants Crackdown, so you know, just go blow things up and everything.
Yeah, Crackdown did a lot of cool stuff with mobility, like jumping around and shit. The first one, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
did Just Cause with like the grappling hook and the parachute and stuff. That's why like Just Cause 2 was cool, but then Just Cause 3 just felt like kind of another one of those, like way too late.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The content was an issue, wasn't it? Or a lack of content. Felt like a game full of submissions
Yeah,
and kind of
just kind of rinse and repeat. You just
generic quests.
liberated all the areas, and we're always doing the same thing over and over again. At least that's what I got out of it.
Written story.
So 4 is not really. I mean, I'd love to see it and see what they do if they do something cool with it, but it's not really too high on my radar for excitement anyway. There's this one game on here. What was it? Insurgency Sandstorm? I have no idea what that could possibly be. Like, is Insurgency a series I don't know about?
Oh, let me see. Mine's-
For me, I'm like, could that be a new Spec Ops? Like, it sounds kind of like a new Spec Ops to me, but obviously not called Spec Ops. What do we got going on in the chat? Feel Sony coming with 4 main titles is stupid. I think they have more. They're gonna be talking about
That's
more.
what I'm thinking. I think they have more than just four games they're going to show. I'm sure they announced their whole hand.
At the same time, I think, I don't know. I'm in right now. I'm in the less is more mood anyway.
Okay.
Right.
Like, I want a few really kick-ass games instead of just a whole bunch of rinse and repeat or rushed stuff.
Too
So
many
I
of
wouldn't.
the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a slimmer. I mean, I guess we've been kind of going that way anyway. Games definitely don't come out as frequently as they used to, like big games anyway.
Right.
For a while now, and but the ones that are coming out, I feel like for the most part are pretty well done. You know, you can tell that they take the time. Yeah, every once in a
That's
while.
my thing, and that's one of my pet peeves. I always talk about. I would rather have them like delay a game, all because they want to take their time and polish it up, make it look good, instead of launching it and having bugs and it being broken or crashing on you. So I'm okay with less is more.
Yeah, I think I've come around. Also, like, my wallet can't handle it.
Exactly. Like last year.
Right.
Last year
was insane. Every couple of weeks, it was like, oh, I got to spend another $60. I got to spend another $60.
Yes.
You like really
especially
had to plan.
Sony. Yes, especially Sony. They were just releasing bangers nonstop.
It was
like,
third party too. Was just like
yes.
on fucking
I was like,
fire.
will you please stop?
Yeah.
I was like, will you please stop hurting my wallet so much?
Yeah. And then the Switch sticking its ass right in the middle of it all.
Oh,
Nintendo
that was messed up.
all of a sudden deciding to come back. Even if they hadn't come out, it still would have been ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I got a bit on Insurgency. It came out in 2014. It was available through Steam. Got a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
It was on Windows, Linux, and OS X. But it's like a tactical first-person shooter.
Okay, is it called Sandstorm?
It's just called Insurgency. So the second one's gonna be the Sandstorm. Will be the follow-up to this.
Okay.
But it did get a 9 out of 10 on Steam. So
Well, that's Steam.
yeah.
Don't much, does it?
You never really know what
not
you're getting
everything
into when you're looking at Steam reviews.
Yes.
That's true.
All right, so it's just like a tactical.
Yeah, runs on
Multiplayer.
Source from Valve. That's about it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Not my wheelhouse, but I can respect that.
Another game I'm looking forward to is Tom Clancy's Division 2.
Okay.
Ubisoft announced today that even though Division 1 was like lacking content, and that's why they think it didn't sell so well.
Mm-hmm.
They said they said today they promised that Division 2, when it comes out 2019, is going to have tons of content and lots more to come within the years.
Okay.
So,
well, that's what you want to hear, right?
I played a lot of Division. I loved it.
Yeah, me and Stephanie can fill you in on our Division experience. Our 3 week.
There you go.
Well, my 3 week.
I know Stephanie. I know Stephanie loves Division and Destiny 2.
Yeah. Yeah. We all love Destiny 2.
It's funny.
I'm getting
I
a shirt.
updated
I'm getting a
it and
shirt.
downloaded the
I heart
DLCs,
Destiny 2.
Still haven't touched it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've been on that Destiny 2 grind again lately. That's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it. You guys,
Ryan's like, I'm not even going to get into it. Come on, Ryan. You want to play Destiny 2 with us.
They got their Comet coming in the fall, right? We'll see what that brings, right? Taking King 2.
Right.
What is that gonna be?
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as much of a curveball as Rage 2 was, they kind of went both ways with this. They had their really, really bad announcement trailer.
Yeah, the teaser trailer threw me
that
for a
live
loop.
action thing.
What in the world is that?
Yeah, was not great. But they followed it up with something at least a little bit more interesting with the gameplay trailer, which you're seeing now. I did stick in the live action trailer at the end of this, so just content warning: you can close your eyes once the once the gameplay trailer finishes. And yeah, I mean, all right, so I could talk a little bit about how this really isn't a gameplay trailer, but we can talk about how when they do show gameplay in the trailer, it looks pretty cool. I'm getting mobility wise and shooting wise, it looks a lot like Doom. I'm seeing a lot of jumping around, like I said, mobility movements, and kind of I don't know, a little bit of maybe combo killing things going on there, which is cool. I think if they can bring the gameplay of Doom to an open world, that's friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then they've got the car combat, which they don't really show too much in terms of what it's actually going to play like in the trailer, but the car combat in Mad Max, which turns out is the same people that are making this game, was pretty good.
Mad Max was a good game.
The car combat was definitely pretty good in that game.
Which it wasn't in the first one.
What's that?
At all. Which it wasn't in the first one.
Rage?
Car combat was bad in the first one.
You're talking about Rage?
Yeah, Rage 1. Yeah. So it does look like a massive step up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. If they bring the car combat from that Mad Max game into this new game, I think that's a pretty good. The only thing I'd worried about is whether or not it feels like two completely different games, or if it feels like it's a whole thing. I guess that would be my only worry there, but I guess we'll see. It looks like the car combat, at least if you're to take this as actual gameplay, isn't first person, it's third person. Maybe you can switch between them, I don't know.
another thing, it looked to me like you said it looked like Doom. It also looked like to me they're going to like a Borderlands route also with the game.
Hmm. I mean, if you go back and you play Rage, which I just did yesterday, the fact that that game and Borderlands came out, like, wasn't it the same year
Mhm.
or close by,
I think so.
It
is
was
fucking
really
crazy
close.
because like you almost can't tell aside from like art style and stuff like that. The
Mhm.
the whole structure of the game is almost similar, where
Hmm.
you got the little towns and you're getting your missions from pretty static NPCs that just kind of sit there and wait for you to talk to them. And then you're going to your little mission zones and completing it. Although Borderlands, I feel even the first one was a little bit more open than Rage was. Like Rage,
Yeah.
Yes.
Rage was
Yeah.
all touting that open world, but when you actually got into it, it was like you just kind of drove around the open world, didn't really do too much in it, and you just
Yeah.
went to these like bespoke side areas to actually do the missions and do the action.
Yeah,
Mhm.
your missions were all like pretty linear from what I remember.
Yeah, you literally like open a door and it loads a whole new area. That's where you do your mission, and then you
That's
come
right.
back out to the open world, um,
Yeah.
Nice.
which is you know part of why I think a lot of that game was a little disappointing to a lot of people, because it really didn't deliver on I guess the promise. I don't really know what their whole marketing was around that. It was a really
I
long
don't
time
remember
ago.
either, but I think it just kind of like popped out when it came out too.
Oh no, there was a lot of hype for it. I mean, this was like wasn't it id's next game since like Doom 3 or something like that.
I'm not sure. I'm
It
trying to
might have
remember.
been.
Yeah,
Maybe it was just like the group of people I gamed with at the time that came out. It was
yeah.
kind of like a left field thing, and I was like, "Oh, awesome!"
Oh, here's your live action trailer. It's
And
it's
now
bet-
question like,
it's better without the sound, honestly. Which is which is what you're getting. You can add in any music you want. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think
Oh, God.
I'm interested. I'm
Mm.
not like super hyped for it. I'm gonna, you know,
Let's see.
temper my expectations.
Yeah, when I first watched this, I was like, man, I don't know if I was like tripping or what on acid. I was like,
Yeah,
what is this?
the attitude is so completely different from that first game. It's unbelievable because that thing is so self-serious and like
Mm.
I mean
yeah,
it's crazy. There isn't any humor at all in that like in the first hour I played of that game last night to
Mm.
even suggest that this is the direction that they would go with it. And like
Mm.
really it doesn't even like I thought maybe they'd go like a more Mad Max route and this doesn't like the attitude anyway doesn't even feel that way. The aesthetic certainly does.
Yeah.
But I don't really know.
yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. If anything, it'll be interesting.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, anything else I guess things that aren't part
Beyond Good
of
and Evil. See what we get from Beyond Good and Evil. We'll actually get some gameplay.
Yeah.
That'd be
Sure.
interesting.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
See what they're going to do with that. It's still Ubisoft, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still
think.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
It's still Michel Ancel.
So yeah, they model that to their new kind of direction, Ubisoft direction.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another one that's like when you look at the original Beyond Good and Evil and what they've shown at least of the new one, it's another complete like in my opinion like tonal shift.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
that first trailer that they showed of it kind of turned me off. I was not into the
I agree.
the
Yeah.
attitude of
It
that.
wasn't good.
I mean, like I said, like with Rage, was it into the scripted, live action trailer? wasn't into Beyond Good and Evil, but maybe I'll like the gameplay. Who knows? They have shown a little bit more of that too. They had like a big like tech demo of it, showing like how you'll be able to like go from the city to your ship and then into space, and how the solar system and day-night cycle works and everything like that. It looked pretty cool. It looked like they're like it's gonna be like probably at the scope of a solar system level, so there's gonna be a few planets you're gonna be able to go to and stuff like that. So that seems pretty cool. Yes. So yeah. Anyone else pumped about Beyond Good and Evil 2? Anybody?
I never played the first one, so
Yeah. Anybody else?
It'll be interesting to see what it brings. Like I said, I don't know too much about it because I didn't play the first. But
Yeah.
Not many people did. That's the thing. It was a cult, and it
Yeah.
gained its reputation over time. It really didn't do very well when it first came out, but it definitely picked up its reputation. It's
Yeah,
worth a go.
that's what I understand.
Definitely
Like,
worth a look.
there are people who really love it, and then there's the rest of us who never played it. I don't really know anybody that's like, oh, I fucking hate Beyond Good and Evil, which I guess is a good
Right?
thing, right?
you either hear it's really good or you just know about it.
Everyone who played it really loved it. The problem is like only 5 people played it.
Mm.
Yeah, so outside of the leaks and stuff like that, what are we looking forward to? Lee, I know you had a list of interest. Oh, Mike, you want to go first?
There? Yeah, Mike.
the Last of Us too.
Mm-hmm.
I know we only saw just like the cinematic video last year
Yeah.
at E3, but I'm hoping we'll see some gameplay this year and maybe a date. I'm definitely hyped for that one. I loved Last of Us. Yeah,
Mhm.
It was such a good story.
What are we looking for in the gameplay department? The same as before, or different?
Different. I want to look for something like different. I'm sure the whatever you want to call them. I call them zombies, but they're not called zombies in the game.
Well,
There's zombies.
zombies by any other
I'm-
name.
Right. But I'm looking for more of those, more about Ellie's past or present. What about Joel? Is he alive? Is he dead? So
Yeah.
Mm.
it's gonna be,
Steph's
it's
in
gonna be
there.
interesting.
Don't give me dates at E3. Give me dates.
Mm.
Looking at you, Sony. Get those dates out there.
And make the gameplay less rudimentary as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Stephanie says she's trying to multitask her game and chat here, and
Yeah.
plus drinking at the same time.
I'm glad. I'm glad we have her undivided attention.
Exactly. She's putting shots back and playing a game and chatting here.
Yeah. I'm.
You should just all go off and see if she notices.
Yeah, we
Right.
should.
Just touch down.
Remind me not to turn on my PlayStation joiner party.
Yeah, maybe that'll get her in here. Yeah, well, yeah, join her party and get her on here.
Get her so we can hear her voice.
Yeah, you can do that on
Right.
you can do that through the
I'm
PlayStation
telling you,
app.
one day she's got to be on y'all's podcast.
Okay, whatever. That's my attitude.
She says y'all gonna kill me.
Yeah,
I
dragging
was
you.
like, I'll have to bring all my stuff with me and just drive down to her and be like, hey, listen, come on,
Yeah, drag
set you
her,
up.
drag
Let's
her
do
on,
this.
drag her on, throw a microphone in
it
her
on.
face, and I'm still waiting for that Troll and I review.
Ooh, yeah.
Get that,
That was like 2 years ago, wasn't
get that at me. I don't know. Who knows?
it? Right, it's like I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah, it was a while ago because that was one of the things that were being talked about, like right when I first joined with y'all.
Yeah, I believe it just came up in her Facebook memories, so it's at least a year. This
I remember
happened.
that. It was like a Vietnam, wasn't it?
Yeah, remember this happened 1 year ago? Then the flashbacks.
There you go. She probably never even finished it.
I don't know.
Oh, wasn't it impossible to?
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
was
it
very
was.
broken, so there's a good chance that it was impossible to finish. All right, Lee. What do you look? What do we want out of E3?
A couple actually. I'm interested in the Sinking City,
Okay.
which is a Lovecraftian type thing, from Frogwares, who usually do point and click Sherlock Holmes adventures. They've done a long line of them: the Jack the Ripper game, the Crime and Punishment game. It looks quite interesting. It's they've moved away from that somewhat. It's more kind of open exploratory, with slight combat sections, which sounds strange, but they started to implement that into the last game they did, which was the Devil's Daughter, I think, Sherlock Holmes' Devil's Daughter, which a lot of people didn't like because point and click people are a bit weird about gameplay in their games, as they say, if you get what I mean. But it looks like it's going to be good. It looks like it's going to.
Yeah, they had.
And I think that's due at the very end of the year, so we should be seeing something from the release. I think.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be like how? Do you think it'll be on someone's stage? What do you think? How will they show that?
Well, it's on all formats, so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it'd be in someone's stage.
So what you're saying is a PC gaming show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. I think it would
The-
very much. Yeah.
The 4-hour PC gaming show.
Drier than a buttered toe.
Yeah. No, I saw they put out some gameplay of that, and I saw it. We talked about it a little bit, and yeah, it looks pretty cool, honestly. I like the atmosphere. It looks a little old, honestly. It looks like an older game coming out. Like graphically and like just like the engine they're using. Like you said, they've been probably using it for a while with those Sherlock Holmes games. But I think it could be cool to mix like the open world gameplay, detective stuff with some action.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
get the old one in
So
there.
that looks promising. Yeah, that looks promising. There's another one called The Last Night, which I think is an Xbox and probably Windows only game, which is like a cyberpunk sort of 16-bit aesthetic
Oh yeah, okay.
adventure
okay,
game. A little bit like Dex. Do you remember Dex?
Yeah. No.
It came out a few years back. Yeah, a little bit like that, but in a more of a pixel art neon aesthetic. That one's also quite interesting.
Yeah,
They
I
pushed
remember
that last year.
Yeah, they showed that last year. I remember that being on their one of their indie games that they had on there. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So what?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of gameplay out there of that? What is that gonna be? It looked like kind of like mostly an adventure game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They've not really shown anything apart from that first trailer, but obviously we're hoping to get more of that. I mean, it's not a massive game, so I can imagine we could see it quite far ahead if it does show this year, which I think it was supposed to come out again. It's got a 2018 date, so it'd be interesting. I imagine it would be heavily kind of Oxenfree-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Aesthetic. I can't see it with the style they are to be, or Flashback. Remember Flashback? Be more kind of, if there is something of an action element to it, it will be kind of quite simplified. But it's definitely going to be a narrative game.
Okay. Yeah, that's
interesting
what it
stuff.
looked like to me. It didn't look like there was too much gameplay, but you never know with like that first trailer.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Derek, you got anything on your list?
I'm hoping to see something from Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
That's one of my big hopes.
Speaking of
see some more
Cyberpunk,
from that, see how it's coming. The others would probably be seeing more of Anthem, see what that's starting to become, or if they're going to show off any more of it.
Yeah.
And other than that, the only other one would be seeing more from Black Ops 4.
Oh, you didn't get enough today?
Just interested to see like what their map and all is going to be and how their battle royale modes be fine to try to be different from what's out there now.
So, Black Ops? Do you mean Black Ops? I.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
Escape.
All right. Excuse me.
That's probably my gaming downfall is shooters. I'll play every one of them.
Yeah. No. They. Did you get a chance to look at all the stuff that they put out today?
Not everything. I
Mhm.
got to watch, like right before we started. I got to watch the battle royale trailer.
Okay.
But after we're done here, I'm gonna go see what else has popped up. It's been a super busy week of work and everything.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. There was no single player trailer.
Yeah, I knew. Yep, I knew about that. So
Yeah.
Is it out completely campaign?
Well,
There's no-
they didn't say there's a campaign.
Go ahead.
Like they didn't. They
Ooh.
didn't say there was a campaign. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. Usually they show like under reveal stuff, a story, but yeah, like Ryan said, they did not show any campaign to it, but they did announce saying that each specialist is going to have its own backstory that you can work on, and said that's pretty much their story.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, eh.
yes, I saw there's a couple videos up to watch. It's like more with zombies and
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of zombies. There are gonna be right after that like 3 or 4
need to
zombie
make
maps.
zombies like its standalone game. Like just take it completely out of there and make its own thing.
See that I'd be cool with.
Yeah. Like take the shitty mode out of the game, so I don't have to pay for it.
Me, because I'm not a big zombie fan. I'm not like a big zombie fan hunting game on Call of Duty. I buy Call of Duty for the story, and then after I beat the story, then I jump right to the multiplayer. And now they're adding battle royale because, like, everybody's on that Fortnite PUBG hype. They're like,
Right.
let's throw that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. They had the trailer there, and for that specifically, and didn't really say too much. It was like it looked more like Metroid Prime to me, actually. Everything was like glowing orange and like wireframe, and they just had this camera pan
that's
through.
why I'm interested to see more of it, what it's going to become, or
They were basically
what
like,
their vision is.
you know what Battle Royale is.
Yeah.
Black Ops 4, let's do it. It was pretty much the whole trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because this will be the first battle royale we see from a AAA studio.
Yeah, this is, well,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it's the first one that's been announced. Who knows if something will come
Yeah, the
out
first
ahead of
one.
it. And who knows, something will actually launch ahead of it. But
I think Battlefield already said. Yeah, I think Battlefield already said they're not doing. They're not adding battle royale to their game.
no.
So they switched then? Because I know before
Yeah,
there's like a bunch of them that
I know
came out.
before-
But, like,
I think I read at one time there were people are rumoring that Battlefield 5 is going to have, battle royale, but I think EA came out and said no, it's not going to be battle royale in Battlefield.
I mean, out of all of them, Battlefield would be like the one to have a battle
That'd
royale
be-
mode. That's like the one that it's already designed for it.
right? They already,
Exactly.
They already
So I-
have like huge maps that work. and-
Yeah, they already have like huge player counts. Call of Duty is like, what's the average? What's the biggest Call of Duty match? Like 16 players, 24 maybe. I don't even know what
Right,
they
I think
get up
like
to now.
16.
Yeah.
I-
16 robots drop onto an island. I don't know.
Yeah.
16 specialists drop onto an island. And you never see them
I don't
because
know.
it's too big.
It'll just be interesting to see how they work out because they're already like well established multiplayer games with modes that are highly refined. So if they can add that onto that huge scale, hoping it works out.
Yeah.
If not, then back
I
to
mean,
PUBG, Fortnite.
I don't. I
And
honestly don't give a shit about playing any of them, but I'm interested to see what they do, like what it looks like when it comes out.
Yeah,
Like, is it successful? Do they totally blow it? Who knows?
yeah. That's why it's great having our talks like this. Because Ryan's, forget them. I'm me. I'm a sucker. I'm gonna play them all.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
H1Z1's coming up. I own it on the computer. I own PUBG on the computer on the Xbox, and whenever it comes to PlayStation, probably have it there too.
Yeah. They're teasing the new map for Xbox, PUBG on Xbox coming out the 24th, I think.
Oh.
May 24th, the desert map that everybody hates apparently. Although when I was playing it on PC, I thought it was pretty good. I don't know
We
why.
had a
I don't know why
blast on
everybody
it a
hates
couple
it.
times we got to play.
Yeah,
I mean-
I don't know why everybody hates it. I know everybody hates it on PC because of hackers and shit, but you don't have too
Yeah,
much of that on Xbox.
It's really open, so
Yeah, like if it's a sniper nightmare or wet dream, depending on what end you're on.
Oh.
my biggest thing on PUBG, I know I say it all the time in Voxel Voice and platform gaming. I played it on Xbox. It's what it is. It's I've I played it for like a couple hours, and after that, it was still rubber banding. The first time I played it, went back after they updated it several times. It still has the rubber banding. House is not loading in on the Xbox. And I know it runs 10 times better on the PC. Between Ryan telling me
Yeah.
and
When
other people
now
that play on PC.
when was the last time you popped in on Xbox?
I played it last week on Xbox, and it was
Okay.
still glitchy somewhat. The
Yeah,
cars were
it's-
still bouncing around back and forth while you're driving.
I definitely
like-
played it earlier when it came out, and it wasn't great. And I know, I just recently
Yeah.
jumped in a couple weeks ago, and it was a lot better than it was. Yeah, it still had tons of problems.
Still,
Like, I guess
still
probably
has issues, and
yeah,
my biggest thing is, instead of putting out a new map on the Xbox, work on fixing the bugs, getting the game working right. Because I spent $29 on it.
yeah.
I want to play it.
I
but-
mean, they're every time they put out new features, though, they're also improving the performance. It's
Yeah.
like, it's two different. It's two different. You know, they're tackling both ends of it. And I think they want to obviously get it running well, and at the same time get it as close to feature parity with PC, so they don't have to keep doing these stupid. One day announce PC info, the next day announce Xbox info. So it's like it's all unified.
Oh.
Can you
Derek
explain?
had a
how-
question for you there, Ryan.
Yeah, can you explain how Battle Royale is different from Deathmatch? So the big things with Battle Royale are, one, it's permadeath. So when you're in a match, when you die, you're done. You have to jump into a new match. There's no respawning. Two, there's no loadouts. There's no equipment that you start with. You find everything in the match. And it's all randomly placed and everything like that. And the third thing is, and I would imagine any battle royale is going to have this. I don't know if it's required, but you have your play zone that's shrinking as the match goes on, so it funnels everybody towards the center of the map or wherever the circle is converging on, so you don't get situations where like you have 100 people on the map and they never see each other because they're all spread out over this huge map. I don't know if there's anything else that's required for battle royale, but deathmatch, is
Really?
just
You get the supply drops. That's about it. But you
Yeah.
have them like a care pack, so that's kind of.
and then deathmatch is, well, what we've been playing multiplayer for forever. It just, you get thrown in
A lot smaller scale.
Yeah, much smaller scale, and respawns. I mean, there's obviously modifiers that you can put on things like that, like no respawns and stuff like that. But generally speaking, respawns up to a certain kill point. And at least with Call of Duty and Battlefield and even like Halo and stuff like that, you have you start with a weapon set. Like you're not picking. You start with at least a basic set of weapons. You find more on the map, but you're starting with weapons. In Battle Royale, you start with nothing except for either your fists in PUBG or the axe in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the last thing I'll kind of close to that is too is Tuesday will be interesting with H1Z1 coming to PlayStation 4. For the sole reason being that it's just not being ported. They completely designed it around the actual console.
Okay.
So, and from a couple of videos I've seen so far, it's looked like it's been pretty smooth. So,
Is
we'll
it?
find out.
So is it coming with that car combat mode?
I'm not sure. I hope so though.
Yeah, because that was kind of like the surprise when they launched that game, when they actually finally launched it. Aside from the weird like, oh we're making you pay for it. Oh now it's free to play. They had that car combat mode, which seemed like it was pretty cool.
Speaking of y'all talk about Call of Duty, do you think it's fair that they're charging $60, or do you think it should be cheaper since there ain't no story mode to it? Ask the panel. Why hear y'all's opinion on it.
Depends on the amount of. Did I unmute myself? Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. It depends on the amount of content. If they charge $60, it's just these couple modes and only like 4 maps like they normally give you, then no, not at all. But if it's $60, pure multiplayer and like a decent amount of maps, then yeah, it would be.
Yes, I noticed that I went and checked on while I was playing my Xbox today that it's right now up for pre-order for $60. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of Call of Duty not being $60 is like that's going to be a sign of the apocalypse, right?
Right, and see, my other big thing is if they charge you, since they're charging you $60 a month, say, for since they're going to charge you $60, they're probably going to charge you for a season pass, because they always do a season pass,
right?
Of $50, and I'm like, you look at your $100 $110 in, you're like, I'm just getting maps.
Yeah, I wonder, like, so many of the multiplayer games now are doing free DLC. Like, you get the maps, and the only post-launch money they make is that way. Yeah. And I wonder if, I guess, Call of Duty's, well, like Call of Duty and Destiny, two Activision properties, are not doing that. Like, decidedly not doing that. Well, I guess anyway. I guess hasn't been an announcement for Call of Duty yet. Whether it's, did they mention that at all, like season pass or anything?
What?
Did they mention season pass?
They haven't announced a season pass yet.
Okay.
Like I said, usually that's what they have is the season pass.
Yeah.
Most Call of Duty games now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. My money is on there'll be a season pass and they'll charge money for it, but
right,
things change, I guess.
Yeah, I'm totally down with your idea. If you pay $60 and they're like, hey, we'll just give you the game, the rest of the expansions and stuff in the season pass for free as it comes out.
Especially now that there's no single player, it's all multiplayer focused. Yeah. Or maybe
they'll take a hit for that.
Like
sales wise.
What?
Yeah.
For leaving out single player.
Yeah, because I know I don't play multiplayer. I don't play competitive multiplayer. I don't.
Yeah.
Get on with it, so I only ever buy them for single player.
Yeah.
See, I'm with them. Yes. I only play for single player.
Yeah. I haven't bought a Call of Duty in like 3 years, so. And taking out the single player is not going to get me to go back buying it.
I
So,
said,
but you know,
to me,
they're not selling.
to me this is like a to me this is like, I'm not on board with this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
How
not.
badly did Infinite Warfare sell?
I
Because
don't
it
know.
didn't sell as well, did it?
I mean,
What, World War
they've all
II?
been going down.
Oh, World War Two.
Progressively.
Sorry.
I think I read that it sold better than what Infinite Warfare did, but on that,
I mean, we're still talking about like
But-
tens of millions of copies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
and now they've got.
I mean, we all know. I was like, we all know that wherever it is, if it's Call of Duty, Pokemon, Battlefield, it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where, like FIFA or something, without wishing to sound insulting,
Right.
but it's one of the people that don't
Right.
really enjoy video games play. If that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Mhm.
It's kind
Yeah.
of a very, I buy a PS4 and I play FIFA and I play Call of Duty and I don't really touch it at all. So it's got that market that not a lot of the other things have.
Yeah, and like Madden over here. Like,
Yeah, Madden.
They'll be like, there's people that just buy Madden. That's the only reason they have it Xbox or PlayStation, and that's
There
it.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. I mean, I agree with Angel in the chat. COD campaigns are garbage, and they've been for a while, and that's why I stopped buying them.
I
They've
remember
not been
last
great
one I've
since
actually
Ghosts,
beat.
What's it? There's,
probably.
I don't know. I think the last one I played was Ghosts. Yeah, probably. But I didn't even
Ghosts
play all of that
or
one.
Black Ops 1. This goes after Black Ops?
I don't know, man.
It was one of those two. For the
When they
last
were
one.
fun.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, I played Advanced Warfare. I did play a chunk of that game. That was the first one that
I like
they actually
Yeah, I played
changed
that
some
one.
I like
things.
the story.
That one.
I like the story of Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, that was actually a good story, and they changed it up, like the gameplay a little bit enough to make it a little bit more interesting. But since then, I haven't touched Call of Duty very much.
Not appealed to
I
you.
like the I like the World War II story. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good story.
Mhm.
The worst one I didn't. Yeah, the worst story one I didn't like on was Black Ops 3. I thought that story was trash. I couldn't even finish it. I was like, nah.
Yeah, yeah, they went kind of off the rails on that one, from what I hear.
Mhm.
All right, are we satisfied with E3? We want to move on to the next
Yes.
topic. Anyone need to take a break?
No.
No.
I'm good.
No bathroom break, drink break. No, good to go.
I'm good.
All right. All right. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to talk a little bit about games that have mental health themes, games that we play to keep us mentally healthy. How about let's call it that. Yeah, just talk a little bit about it because 'tis the season, I guess. Actually, I kind of want to kick it off with a side topic, kind of related. I guess it's also International Disability Awareness Day or something like that.
There you go.
And that's that goes hand in hand with Microsoft's announcement of their what do they call it? The ability
Accessibility
controller, yes. Which just had leaked a little bit before, with tons of other stuff that's leaked. And it's just this. I wish I had a picture of it to throw up. I didn't get that up in time.
It's
It's like
describing it.
yeah, it's like a white rectangle,
Yeah.
and it's got two big black buttons on it, a D-pad, and some of the other buttons from the Xbox controller. And on the front of it, the front of this box thing, has ports that you can add peripherals into that can mimic all of the Xbox buttons. So like you can put in foot pedals, you can put in controllers that you hold differently in your hand. You can plug all of this stuff in, and all of this. What this does is allow people that may not have what's something going on?
No, I pulled up a picture of the controller.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there are a ton of ports on it.
Yeah,
I can't see the backside, but there's like 1, 2.
Yeah, let me.
There's
Yeah,
a lot.
wants the-
Actually, it looks like the top part of it is all like touch panel because it shows like the different menu options and stuff you can use on the controller, and that like you'll see on the Xbox. It's got the home button, your menu button, that port on the side for you can. I guess you can plug in any controller to it.
Yeah, I don't know if it allows for literally every controller, or
Okay.
it's only ones that they've, at least for now, that they've like are working with.
Okay.
I know they
Here's one that's
mentioned
got, like,
that's it
oh.
right there.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
I know they are allowing certain like joysticks to be plugged into it. They mentioned specifically a Logitech one, like a flight stick, which is pretty cool because like you think of somebody that has like only use of one hand, right? And they can't like use both analog sticks on any controller, and the triggers and stuff like that. So being able to plug in a flight stick, which is designed to have all of the controls and movement on a single hand, allows them to now play just about any game. And weirdly enough, when I was reading this and looking at it and stuff, I was like, that's actually how I originally played PC games. When I first started playing PC first-person shooters, like I played a ton of Half-Life with a flight stick, and I had mapped everything to the flight stick. This was before I was dumb and didn't know that you're supposed to use WASD keys and a mouse. I had a flight stick and I plugged it in and I just mapped everything to it and it worked. And that's just my little side thing. I think that's pretty cool. That I don't know. Maybe I just think it's really cool that they're putting it out, and hopefully we'll see more of it too. More companies getting behind that, kind of allowing people who really want to play games but can't for whatever reason to get in there and start playing again.
I got a better picture of the ports here. It looks like...
Yeah, I wanted to get a picture of the ports.
Almost... Here, I can send you the link. And that page there had a really good picture of it, because you've got a USB for left thumbstick, USB for right. There's 3.5 millimeter jacks for, I guess, probably custom controllers. For like, it looks like almost like 20 different inputs. You have a headphone jack, all that on there. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right there.
Yeah, so like you got all of these ports. Oh, you can't see my mouse.
Wow.
That's a bummer. I might be able to change that. Here we go. There we go. You got all these ports here, and these are just basically like every single button on the Xbox controller has a headphone jack port, and which is what all of these are here. And then you plug in, like I said, foot pedals and other kinds of controllers. Like these are just for simple inputs. These aren't for like flight stick, like I was talking about. That's what the side USB ports are for. But this is like just for simple one button inputs because they're mapped to each individual button. And yeah, there's a really cool video that they put out that kind of goes through some of the uses for it, some of the people that they worked with to get it right, basically. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, even outside of accessibility and stuff like that, I'm interested to see what people do with this in just like different ways to interact with video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I want to see. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Bloodborne speed run. Well, I guess Bloodborne
Right?
is Dark Souls. Dark Souls, because Dark Souls isn't Bloodborne's PlayStation. Dark Souls speed run on this thing. Dark Souls Remastered. Dark Souls Remastered speed run. Using only foot pedals. That's what I want to see. Yeah. So anyway,
they had that person that did it with the drum set from the Rock Band.
Yeah, there's I've seen that. I've seen somebody beat Bloodborne with a Rock Band guitar.
I saw it was some competition and the guy won using the guitar.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even beat Bloodborne with the controller it was made for. Never mind Rock Band guitar or something like that. All right, yeah. So back to specifically mental health stuff. Right now, I'm playing gameplay from Hellblade, which is probably the one of the best examples of use of mental health.
Doesn't matter.
Specifically psychosis
Welcome.
in a video game.
You're safe
And
with me.
what's so
I'll be
fucking
right
cool
here.
about this game
Nice and
is the
close
way
so I can
that
speak without
they
alerting
were
the
able
others.
to blend it with the gameplay. So
Let
like
me
a lot
tell
of
you
games,
about
they'll
Senna.
have the story will
Her
involve
story has already come
mental
to
health
an end,
things like
but
you know
now
anything from anxiety, depression,
begins anew.
suicide, things like that.
What's
They'll touch upon it in the story, but there really won't be any
It's breathing.
real
breathing.
gameplay
He knows she's getting
connotation to it,
He can feel
which is
her
fine. You know,
closer.
those stories are
She's
important to
getting
tell, but the way Hellblade takes the like
This is a journey deep
specifically
into
the way that they do it
darkness.
is they have these voices in your head throughout the
There'll
entire
be no
thing.
more
you haven't
stories
played it.
after this one.
And they're constantly telling you
What is she doing? Why is she
a lot of them are
doing this?
conflicting
Why
things like
isn't she okay?
go here, don't go here, go here, go here, don't go here. But where it really comes into play is when you're in the combat and it's actually giving you cues on when to dodge, when to block.
I never told you of the
when
others.
when something's going to attack you
We
from
hear them
behind,
too, right?
because the combat's very claustrophobic.
They've
The
been
camera's
around
real
ever since
close,
the
tight
tragedy.
to the action, and
It's
enemies
not
are
quite true.
constantly behind you. You're constantly
Some are old.
surrounded.
Some are new, but they've
Oh, that-
changed.
that's supposed to be muted. I guess the gameplay audio was playing through the stream. Thank you for letting me know about that. So yeah, the way that the audio cues are actually incorporated into the combat is amazing in my opinion.
Yeah.
And something that
The immersion.
yes, the immersion.
Just the whole experience was like, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's something that I've never really seen in a game at that level anyway. And it was a very big surprise. Like I had been interested in the game, but when it actually came out and I started playing it, I was like, holy shit. Like you got to play this game with a pair of headphones because that's the only way that you're going to get the full experience. And I don't usually say that about a lot of games because Yeah, there are games that have really awesome sound effects, sound design, everything like that. But this game, if you're not playing it with headphones, you're missing out.
Yeah. I tried playing it for a
Oh,
bit
dude.
with just the TV because no one was around. I was like, no, I gotta put the headset back on. Like,
Yeah,
it's just that much of an experience.
definitely.
Yep.
And yeah, and so they worked with actual uh, psychologists and stuff to make sure they represented Senua's, who's the main character, her psychosis properly, and didn't go down the road of like tropes you see sometimes represented, like mental health as like a stigma or something like that. They actually made it part of her character and made you connect with her because of it, and then made it like kind of the main driving force behind the story as well, finding out why she has it, and figuring out like who these voices are in her head, because there's a lot of them. It is just a couple of like a good guy and bad guy kind of thing. There's a lot of people talking to her in her head, and throughout the game you learn who they all are, and I thought it was really well done. And Angel says it's currently 33% off on Steam right now, so go get it. It's a good
I'm
game.
still yet to play it.
Oh, you haven't played it, man?
No, I'd
Oh,
seen
jeez.
it played.
Okay.
And I didn't get anything like what you said for a bit because I was watching it played when somebody else had the headphones on.
Oh yeah.
So
This is a game you absolutely have to play in order to fully
I recommend
appreciate it.
you.
yeah, I'll give it a look. Definitely. I might even grab it after we've done this.
Yeah.
It's a definite game. I recommend anybody buying it and give it a shot. It's an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience. Like,
I bought it twice.
yeah, I need to buy it on Xbox again because I just recently put it on Xbox. Not
Yes,
I'll probably play it
I
again, but I'm gonna buy it just to support it because they donate some of their proceeds to research and stuff like that.
Yeah, I originally
Self-finance,
bought
wasn't it?
I originally bought it on PlayStation 4, and they did a promotion for PlayStation 4 also. If you went and bought it, they were gonna, give, certain money to the proceeds of mental health also. And so I went and bought it again for a friend on the PlayStation 4. Then I went and bought it actually a third time on Xbox because of what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually. It was one of my top games of last year, which is saying a lot because of all of the games that came out last year, all the amazing games that came out last year. And yeah, like it's a really cool story too of like Ninja Theory kind of going on their own and just doing this because they want to, basically, and being able to fund it, like a example of like the risks and potential reward of an indie studio, like whether or not it's hard to say whether or not a AAA would have picked this up or not. I think from a
I think they would.
I think they would have, honestly, because it's enough of a game. Honestly, like it's not like a walking simulator or something like that. Like there's enough gaming elements to it that the pitch would have at least been easy. Whether or not the final product would have survived the corporate hacking that could go on with a project like that, I don't know. But either way, it's cool that it happened the way it did. An independent project, and yeah. Anything else anybody want to laud about Hellblade?
Yeah, I'm good.
Definitely
Yeah.
something that should be played.
Yep.
An experience.
And what better time than Mental Health Awareness Month?
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so let's talk about games that we play to help ourselves mentally. Who wants to go first? I'll go first if nobody wants to.
Go. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I like, for me, it's mostly open world games. Being able to kind of just chill out and get lost in them. Any game that, I mean, in the last year or so, there's been quite a few. Like, I mean, the one that I would go to would be like, Breath of the Wild was a huge game for that for me, where there wasn't anything like forcing me to go forward, so I could just take my time and explore it the way I wanted to. The world was rewarding in a way that, even if you were just kind of screwing around and not going in any direction, you were finding things. It was beautiful to look at. The sound design was amazing. Like another game, if you play it with headphones, you've got, the world is just constantly noise, like nature all around you and everything like that. The little things, like when you got close to one of the ranches that you got to, that the music just slowly started picking up. Like you could hear just a little bit in the distance before you could even see the actual ranch, or what do they call them? Is that what they call them, ranches? I forget what they call them. Where you get your horses and stuff like that. All those the stables, yeah. All of those things just made that game so relaxing and just like a stress relief, anxiety relief, that kind of thing. Just hop into that for a few hours and chill out. Same thing with Assassin's Creed Origins. That's how I ended up playing a lot of that game. Was not doing the main quest, but just exploring and chilling out in the world, because another one that was just gorgeous and rewarded you enough for just kind of screwing around and not taking it too seriously. All right, who's next?
Yeah. Games that I play that help me with like my mental health would be single player games. I like playing the single player games and just diving into deep, rich world. Like God of War, for instance, was a great game. Enjoyed it. Fantastic story. Some other games I play that help, it would be like Uncharted or Persona 5, especially a JRPG game. Yes, those are some great games to play. JRPG games like Persona 5, you can put 200 to maybe almost 300 hours into that game.
Yeah. So what is it?
Very.
Yeah. What is it about them that does it for you?
The story.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go into like a whole different world and forget about everything that's like around me in today's world, and just the story, the gameplay, the characters, the way they interact with each other, and the banter. That's what does it for me. I just get lost into those type of games.
Does the now, I've never played a Persona game specifically, but I know a lot of JRPGs and everything, they have like grinding elements. Does that play into it as well? Like you just kind of, you don't really have to... No.
With Persona 5, there wasn't too much grinding to it.
Okay.
There wasn't too much grinding to it. I mean, you have to level up your characters to take on like certain bosses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there wasn't too much grinding to it.
Okay. I could see that as being good in a way too. Like if there was grinding, just kind of like mindless activity to get your mind off of other things.
Mm-hmm. Probably another good game to get your mind off of things is Yakuza.
Okay.
It's a beat 'em up game with your fist, kind of like GTA, but it's in like Japan world. Mm-hmm. And in the world also there's like mini games, all kind of mini games. There's darts, arcade games. You can find, I think, virtual fighters in one of the the mini games you can play, Virtual Fighter, all kinds of stuff like that. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, so lots of things to do. It doesn't get boring, kind of thing. You can always have a distraction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. But so, I'm assuming Derek, you're probably gonna talk about Fortnite.
No, actually, no, because when I'm playing that, I want to be competitive. I want to.
Oh, okay. So that's
do
the
good,
opposite.
get
That's
into
when
the
you're.
end.
That's when you're on.
Yeah.
That's when you're pumped up.
For me, it would be like I said, just like RPGs and stuff like that. But then, if I just want to be like immersed and really just like get away from everything, I'll dive into an RPG or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like the first couple Final Fantasies, like the 8-bit ones and 16-bit ones and everything, like I own them on everything you could possibly own it on. So
Yep.
it's just fun to pick up like that. But I also like zany games like Worms, Senran Kagura, Fate series for just like mindless beat 'em up, kill a bunch of things. But the other one to kind of go off of like video games, but still in the gaming world, would be like my Dungeons and Dragons sessions that I have with my friends. Like, I can just immerse myself into characters. I can get lost in whatever the story we're running. If we're just running a one-shot story,
Mm-hmm.
giving life to these characters that are already there, and it's just like you forget about everything else around you, and it's those stories. So that's
Cool.
kind of what does it for me. Or even if I just sit down and just start like writing something or writing a campaign, I'll do that type of thing.
So with the older games, is that, I know you're talking about RPG and stuff like that, but is there also kind of like a comfort in playing something you know, like
Yeah,
going
you could
back and
probably
being
say
like,
that. Like I'll go back to like Mario Brothers too. It's like stuff from like the Nintendo older games like that. It's like you know it, but you still want to go through and you still enjoy it. Like those type of games.
yeah, like watching an old movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Steph says hack and slash, extremely soothing after a fucked up day. True that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Just smash on that button and watch everybody die.
Yeah, that'd be Fate right there. It's kind of like Dynasty Warriors-ish with the newest one that they put out.
What's that?
It's like Fate.
Fate?
Called Fate Apocalypse or something. Hold on. Fate Extella, the Umbral Star.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Dynasty Warriors-ish.
Yeah, I can see what I know of Dynasty Warriors, that being a jump in and just kind of literally just whack at things until
Yeah, that's what it is, and there's just like
you
hundreds
fall
of things
asleep.
everywhere. But the cool part about like that one is, there's like two opposite sides of the zones, and you're trying to like fight to the other side while keeping like point controlled, so you kind of like hop around a lot. There's like always something to do, so you can get pretty lost into it trying to like keep everything going.
Oh, so Big Mike, you're Big Mike. Mike, you're talking about Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Does that
Right.
give you some release?
Yeah, when I'm like upset or mad at somebody or something, or I get in a fight
Yeah.
or argument, I usually jump to like my fighting games and just want to beat somebody's face down. So I use it to like release
Yeah.
my aggression.
Yeah. Just put it. I wonder if that's why they went away from allowing you to put custom faces into a lot of these games. Grab someone's picture off Facebook and insert them into Street Fighter 5 and you just, or Mortal Kombat, and then rip their guts out.
Oh, what are you talking about, Steph? You're like the best person in Injustice 2 to go against.
Well, that's because she's smashing buttons.
I mean, she was the Injustice champion.
That's the
She was the Injustice champion.
That's the secret to fighting games. Everybody knows that. You just get in there, smash buttons. Just forget combos and shit like that. You just get in there and just smash buttons, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my.
She's supposed to be picking up. She's supposed to be picking up Dragon Ball Fighters and play with us.
Oh yeah, that's right.
See, that's right.
She's supposed to be getting on a she's supposed to be getting on a podcast too. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens first.
Hell might freeze over.
All
Yeah,
right,
just
Lee.
like-
What's your go-to chillax game?
She said "F you."
For me, I tend to, without going too deep into it, I tend to suffer from like anxiety, hyper anxiety.
Mhm.
So for me, getting into Borderlands,
Okay.
most specifically 2, because kind of to stop when you're ticking over or something, it's
Mhm.
got a languid pace to it. Kind of the music, the twanging Jesper Kid music,
Mhm.
moving at your own, but you can kind of just drift along in it. But there's still enough going on within that to keep you occupied and stop you
Yeah.
kind of
Keep your
thinking
mind
of other-
focused,
yeah.
or
Um,
not focused
there's
in a
enough.
certain way, I guess.
Yeah, there's enough management going on that I can still get interested. It still picks up the pace when I want it to.
Mhm.
But if I just want to kick back and just take a kind of a stroll, it's
You
still
can
an
do that.
exciting stroll to some extent, but it's a stroll through a game where I'm not constantly kind of thinking about other things. That
go-
often helps.
Go find
Is
those
it-
boner farts.
It works on 2 levels. When you want it to kick up a notch, when you're not being bothered by that,
Sure. Yeah. No,
it works, and then you can really just lay back with it. And so that's the one for me.
yeah. Borderlands is a good game
um,
for that. That's for sure.
Which 3 or the pre-sequel doesn't do for me because there's too much going on.
Yeah.
And it stresses me out.
Yeah. Also, like
it's
just
not
the walking around in that is not very fun. Like the 0G and the world. I don't think
I've
they did a very good job making an interesting world.
Yeah, I've got to think about oxygen. I've got to think about bouncing about on plates. I've got to think about kind of the more intricate weapons. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah,
Nah,
way too much micromanagement.
yeah. So yeah,
Wait,
that's
what
my
was
go-to
that? I'm
because
sorry.
it kind
I
of
was-
gives me what I need when I need it.
Yeah.
It will suit both moods.
Is that what kind of got you interested in State of Decay?
No, I just I didn't even think about it like that. No, but State of Decay is more kind of. I like the idea of that kind of.
That's,
No, let's say no.
Okay.
But
All
yeah,
right.
it's got a different sort of aesthetic to it, really. State of Decay. It has got that laid back thing to it, I suppose, but I get different things from it. I get the survivalist thing
Mhm.
from it that I quite like, and the people management
Right.
of it. Keeping them balanced. Which I'm wondering how it's going to work in this next one,
Yeah.
because ripping that out for the co-op. You're removing that, having to take people out to settle them down when they're feeling anxious or they're feeling despondent with the team. That kind of thing about balancing them, that I would assume has been taken out.
I from what I understand with the co-op, the person you go into the game with, it's their town, right? Their settlement, and you're bringing one of your characters with you.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I'm
I
not sure,
understand.
'cause I'm coming in 100% blind,
Um,
but
Oh, you should
Kind of.
do like. Sorry.
no, you're
Um,
good. No, I'm just excited to play it because like I hear a bunch of good things about it. I hear how much you like it, Lee, and like I like that kind of game. So,
yeah, it's very much a hardcore survival sim, I would call it. Like it's very brutal. And from what I understand, this new one is even worse than the first one, like in terms of like how relenting it is.
Mm.
So and it's better in a lot of ways, exposing some of the things that were a little obtuse in the first one, like managing your people and not understanding why they're doing certain things, and like tutorializing a little bit, which is good. But yeah, I mean, I can see like jumping into a game like that because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of micromanaging and a lot of systems going on to get your mind off of that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess it's probably not very good because it's grim. Like
It's
people
also stressful because it's permadeath.
right.
So if you're like 15 hours in and then you're done and you're dead and you're now a zombie, and
Sure.
you're screwed.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to die.
Yeah.
Next, I'm gonna be checking
Uh,
out the first one too, because with the Ultimate Edition, you get the first one with all the year one content.
Oh, you should definitely jump into that. Definitely. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. It has its issues, but
Yeah.
that's more to
That's
do with
every
kind
game.
of the lower scope of it, I suppose. The lower of the development of it. It's an indie game, really.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
And
it has it has the limitations of an indie game as well. Like you can see it,
mm,
but at the same time, it really goes for that what it's going for in it. The first one did a pretty good job with it, and I think the second one looks like it's just doubling down on it and really refining it, at least from what I've seen.
mm.
Yeah, and I guess we're gonna try to do some sort of stream coming up tomorrow or sometime this weekend. The some of us getting in and whacking some zombies in the head, as you were, as you do.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. We're gonna more information on that as it becomes available.
Right. All depends on our deliveries.
Right. Yeah. And time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to honorable mention?
We didn't really talk about Nintendo's E3.
We didn't really touch upon Nintendo because Nintendo really wasn't part of any of these bigger
Right.
leaks going on. Probably because they're Nintendo and they know how to take care of their business.
But I'll start it. What I'm excited to see for Nintendo is Smash Brothers, of course. We all pretty know, sure, that it's going to be a brand new game. I'm looking forward to see if they're going to announce Pokemon. We got rumors going on saying that there is going to be a Pokemon with Pikachu and another one with Eevee on 2 different cartridges or digital, whatever you want to buy. I'm looking for gameplay or maybe a cinematic trailer to Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Some
And
more info on
maybe,
that.
just maybe, like, beat around the bush here, Fortnite on Nintendo Switch. That'd be awesome if they announced Fortnite coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I mean, they already got it on phones, so why not get it on the Switch too, right?
Right. I mean,
see, the one problem with Fortnite that I have, like, when a lot of people talk about it, just to throw it in here with this, is there's a campaign mode that everybody forgets about, and it's awesome.
See that?
It's a lot of
Exactly.
fun. It's just everybody's like Fortnite Battle Royale. No, man. Fortnite
Right.
Save the World mode.
Save the world. Exactly.
Save the world mode.
I have Save the World. I have Save the World.
$39.99.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
What even is that? I didn't know that was a thing.
It's the campaign. It's what the original game was.
Right.
It started in like early access with that. You paid for it. You could upgrade. Between me and my brother have upgraded probably way more than anybody should. We gave out a couple of the games. Like, I think it was when I first started with y'all when Fortnite came out too. That was one of our things. We did like giveaways for it, for the Save the World mode, because you have like your map, you have like missions, objectives, you have survivors you're trying to save. Everybody's got like a little mini story too as you're going through these areas. At the same time, you're building up a main base in each area, and you're building it up with like the wood, the metal. You have to find your guns. You have to craft your guns. They'll deplete, so you have to make new ones. It's a lot of fun. Super immersive too, because there's always stuff to do. There's like objectives. There's a ton of content in it too. So I think like the base version's like $29.99 or something. But even if you just get that without any of the upgrades, there's so much you can do, and there's so many ways to actually earn stuff too. It's like you can earn the V-Bucks, which is paid currency. And
How how are they updating that? Are they still focusing on that as much as they are on the battle royale?
yeah, just as much. Everything changes, like weapon balancing and all happens between both because all the weapons that you're getting in battle royale come from Save the World mode. So they put different versions of that. A lot of like the pickaxes and stuff now that they're giving for like your skins and everything are like different ones that you can actually make and use in the Save the World mode game.
Cool. Yeah, so when Save the World came out, I did play a little bit of it, and wasn't my thing.
So have I.
But neither is the battle royale. So
Yeah.
2 for 2. But I mean, I guess that was the thing that I was concerned about was like once this battle royale took off, were they gonna keep going with the Save the World thing? And it looks like they are, which is good.
Yeah, they do a lot of events between like both. They keep each up
Yeah,
at
plus-
a pretty good pace.
Plus, I think they just added a brand new gun to Save the World also.
Yeah, they're always adding new stuff and changing
Yep.
traps, and always giving ways to earn like the loot, the llamas, and all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Ooh. I'll have a look one day, probably.
What's that?
I'll have a look one day, probably. I played Fortnite very briefly. I never really dipped into it. I didn't even know that was the thing.
Yeah,
So I'll
it's
have a
pretty
look.
fun too, especially if you get a group because you can play that with 4 people as well. And like, yeah,
I guess I'd be remiss if I wasted an opportunity to mention Stardew Valley in terms of games I play to chill out to. That's like
Cool.
probably the ultimate chill out game.
It is.
Literally no stakes. Literally just,
Mm.
I mean, you could just farm all day if you wanted to. So yeah, I would check that out if you're looking for a game to just hang out, chill out in. It's on just about everything too. PlayStation,
did the
Xbox.
multiplayer come out for that yet?
It's out on
Yes.
like kind of like early beta on PC.
Okay.
Yep.
They put out a free update for
It's
it.
supposed to come to consoles here soon. Is what I read or heard. But
Yeah, they'll put it out.
I had it for Nintendo Switch. I went and bought it just recently for Nintendo Switch, and I'm liking it. It's
Yeah.
a very chilled game.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I played it a lot on PC, and then got it on Switch when it came out there, and I've just put just about as much time into it on. Well, no, I didn't. That's not true at all. I have not put as much time as I put into it on PC on Switch yet, but it's a great game to just bring with you because it's like it's one of those games where like you sit down, you can play it for 15 minutes or you can play it for 2 hours because of the way that it's structured. Like it's based on days, so you can play just one day if you want to, if you only got a few minutes to kill, or you can put in like a whole afternoon if you want and really get some shit done.
Right.
Mm.
And yeah, so that's me talking about Stardew Valley again.
I think they kind of like throw in there with that kind of game was Don't Starve.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
That's a
that,
fun game.
and I guess it kind of fits in with the mental awareness month and everything.
yeah, actually it does. Yeah.
It was just you there, at least for the first one, until they got like the Don't Starve together.
Yeah. That I mean it even had like a mental health meter.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
been a while since I picked it up.
So you had to actually work. That was it's a survival game, and you actually had to worry about food. Um,
It's,
food. I think it was just food and sanity. Is that
I
really?
think so.
Was it only 2 meters? I don't remember. It's been a while since I played that.
Yeah, it's
Um, so yeah, that was like at night it would get really dark, and if you didn't have a light source like a fire going, these creatures like ghost creatures would come around you, and they'd hurt you, but they would also severely damage your mental health, so to speak, and you'd slowly go crazy. And I think the lower your health meter was, the like the darker and like grayer the world was. So like even your perception
yeah.
of the world changed. Um,
Um, yeah, it was healthy at the watch, your food, and then the mental health.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, it was health, mental health, and
Mhm.
food. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, that
Cool.
was. I put a lot of time into that game when it came out. That's kind of like the, as far as I know, like the the game that kind of started the survival um uh push in indie games, you know.
Yeah.
That and Minecraft, probably crafting and survival.
Mm-hmm.
um and it's still great. You can still that's on everything. I don't know if that came out on Switch. Probably not.
What game is that?
Don't Starve.
No, it's not on Switch
I
yet.
don't think
Yeah, I
so,
don't think
but
so.
that'd be a really good one for come out on there.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. I'm currently playing their new game that's in early access, Oxygen Not Included. Actually, I think I'm done playing that game because that is an insane game. Like, that game is micromanagement to the absolute max, and I think it's a little bit too much for me. I like micromanaging in games. I like strategy games and stuff like that, but this is just whoa. Once that game gets going, it is bonkers how much you're having to worry about, and then all your people will die, and sometimes you're like, good, 5 less people I have to worry about. I have to keep on track, but it's good if you like that kind of game. Definitely worth the early access price. All right.
Cool.
If we're satisfied, I think we can wrap it up. Anybody else wanna? Mike, you wanna plug your podcast one last time? Let people know when it is.
Sure. This your boy Big Mike here. Make sure you go to the platform live on YouTube.com and check out the platform podcast. We go live every Friday, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific, and we are also streaming there between Eugene and I, streaming all kinds of games and our weekly podcast.
Cool. So are you have one coming up tomorrow?
Yes, we'll have one up tomorrow.
What's the do you have an idea of the topics you wanna?
Not yet.
No?
Well, I should have them ready maybe like tomorrow.
Okay, cool. All right, stay tuned for that, or tune in rather.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. Oh, endorsements. Shit, I almost forgot.
Yeah, that was that.
That you're the special guest tonight, Mike. So why don't you go first? What are you endorsing?
Player One Coffee.
Okay.
I'll endorse that.
Why? Why are we endorsing Player
Uh,
One Coffee? What is special about Player One Coffee?
Well, it's coffee made for the gamers. It's for the gamers, made by gamers. They have 4 or 5 different bags you can try. One I've been drinking lately, it's $20 a bag, and they'll ship it to you of your choice, either whole bean or ground, fresh when it gets to your door. And the one I'm drinking is Leroy Jenkins. It's a blonde coffee, extra caffeinated, for where will say one cup will be like 5 cups of coffee. This is what they compared it to.
Is it working?
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot on the platform podcast. There was one time I first got my package that I made a pot of coffee and I drank a whole pot, which is a 12 cupper, and I was awake for like almost 48 hours. I was like, wow. It works.
Is it sure there wasn't something else in that coffee?
I'm sure there wasn't nothing else in that coffee.
Yeah. Did you grab the
I recommend anybody.
wrong jar off the shelf?
I recommend you try a bag.
All right. What do we got, Lee? I'm going to you next.
Entertainment. It's probably not going to be anything to anyone that is in America because it's already been out there. But
Okay.
this is the first time this has been out in Europe. This is the entire run of the 90s Batman cartoon.
Oh,
It's
cool.
never been available. We've only ever had the first 2 series, which was back in the very early 90s. So they've just released all 4, and that came out a couple of weeks back. I highly recommend that. It's a very good set.
Cool.
Very good set.
So if you're in Europe, go grab that. Has it been?
Yeah.
Is it? Do you know if it's available elsewhere?
It's available in America. It's been available in all 4 series,
Okay.
the 3 Batman series, and then the Batman Adventures, which is the same but not the same.
Okay. So this is
I can see
a,
Ryan glazing over because it's Batman.
a new special release for you
Yeah,
guys over there. Cool.
yeah, but it's available in America if you want to get them separately.
All right, Derek.
I'm gonna go with like the 4 Dummies series.
Okay, the whole
I recently
thing?
picked up. Yeah, because they're awesome for reference guides. Because I just recently got like a camera that I've had before to use before. There's certain things I don't remember, so I picked up that and it was real cheap. And they've got it like for everything you can need. So as reference guides, they're great.
Cool. I'm realizing now that I didn't really come up with anything ahead of time. I was
You can
hoping.
endorse your cat.
I could, yeah. I'm gonna endorse my cat. She didn't make too big of a an appearance tonight, but she was there briefly. If you caught her, and she just kind of hangs out and eats. That's about it. That's her day. And
I've seen your cat's ass more than I've seen my own.
yeah.
So, it's right there. But it's
So
like,
have I, specifically your ass. Yeah, she for whatever reason when I'm doing this, never any other time when I'm sitting in this chair, only when I'm doing the podcast, she likes to jump up on the desk and come in between the monitors here, which is where the camera is, and moon
Yeah.
the entire stream with
Yep.
with her ass.
about 10 minutes in, I saw the cat from the
Yeah,
curtains
she
at the back,
was
peek
in
its
the
head
back.
round, have a look, and it's like he was
Oh,
over there
really?
like yeah.
Yeah.
It scoped you out. It's like right, it started.
Yeah.
It's like our podcast minigame. It's
Planning my plan my big premiere. Her big premiere. Yeah, I mean, what else do I got here to endorse other than my cat, right?
Oh.
I've been using this. This is Gorilla Tape. It
you go.
double-sided Gorilla Tape. It's really good. It's actually really good to hang things on walls. It doesn't like destroy the wall or anything like that, and it stays up really. Everything stays up really good with it. So
She getting
Gor-
advertised.
Gorilla Tape. It sticks
It
to
sticks
shit.
things
Sounds
up.
like-
It's fine. Just buy it. It's fine.
It sticks to
It's-
shit.
It's,
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
The
We're
wheels
gonna-
will come off.
Yeah, it's over.
exactly.
Well, if it's
It's what he uses. It's what he uses in the bedroom.
when the
He
wheels
doesn't
come off
lie.
of your podcast, use Gorilla Tape to to put them back on. All right, that's gonna do it. Hopefully E3 is cool, and there's some surprises because, fuck, I don't know if there will be.
Thanks, Walter.
So anyway, we've done this before, restreaming the E3 press conferences. We're probably gonna have another podcast before E3 anyway. Like I said, we're all gonna play State of Decay. At least most of us are. So we'll come back and talk about that. I don't know if anyone's gonna play Detroit. We'll talk about that too. If I know Red was kind of interested in it. He is on a leave of absence at the moment, but we'll be back soon, I hope. So if he plays that, we'll have him on to talk about that. And yeah, E3. So we host the streams that the press conferences put out, and we're in the chat talking about them. We maybe, if availability lines up and stuff like that, maybe we'll actually chat over them this year. Now that we've got this podcast set up going, we could try doing that as well, depending on availability. A lot of them are happening on the weekend this year, actually ahead of E3 proper, so that might work out for at least some of our availabilities. So I don't have to take off work like I had to last year. Yeah, so that's we'll have more information on that as it gets closer, and we'll also have more information on when the next Voxel Voicecast proper will be. And stay tuned for State of Decay streaming coming up soon. What was that, Mike?
I was gonna say, hopefully stuff will be on.
Yes, stuff will be on. We're gonna stick it.
On what?
Never
We're
mind.
not sure.
All right. Thanks everybody for being on. Thanks, Mike, for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And everybody tune into the platform tomorrow night at 9:00. See ya.
Later.
Bye.